Today we're going to talk about how a Valorant pro team playing one of their first games in Tier 1 Valorant managed to defeat a super team by playing a 4v5. Now, of course, they weren't literally playing a 4v5. And I am not even talking metaphorically they were playing a 4v5, as in one of their players was playing really bad. I don't mean that either. I mean in terms of the strats that BBL were using. It is so insane what they were doing. I have never seen anything like it. They were effectively playing a lot of 4v5s, but still managing to win anyway. The game, of course, that I'm talking about is BBL versus Vitality. Again, a game that BBL are not favored to win. But here they were on Abyss, and they are going to win, and they are going to basically sacrifice one of their players from the very first round.
I guess that the war of attrition in terms of aggression and proactivity on map 1. Now Vitality are going to have their head on a swivel on their map pick.
So it's also, I want to see Chronicle's comfort on Vito as well. We saw 7 looking very good on one side, looked a little shorter on the other. Chronicle though.
So get used to seeing that strat in this video. And that's what I mean by they were playing a 4v5, because often we were getting just this first kill completely untraded, and they were just happy to leave Larocque somewhat completely on his own, right? As you will see just here. So this strat that they do, they're going to do quite a lot. Right, we actually do have a group up here, right? You would think, looking at this map, like, oh, you know, this is just going to be a B exec. They drone, Larocque comes forward, a smoke goes in, but only he is going forward. No one else is going with him here. It is just him going forward. Everyone else is still chilling back there, right? And obviously he does have the recall here, which he did in quite a few of these instances, but he never really recalled in these spots, and this time he ends up dying. And we end up in a 4v5. And this is what I mean by BBL were playing in a 4v5. Because there was quite a few rounds that looked like this, where we've sent a guy on B alone, and he's died. And now we're just in a 4v5. But BBL was still able to win this map, because in these 4v5, they were able to find very creative solutions. For instance, in this one, they're going to triple walk down mid, you know, in the middle of the round. Only 45 seconds, really, when they start doing this. You're not really expecting, like, a ton of mid pressure. You're expecting a group up in main. That's generally what happens on this map at this point. You see that Durka has no idea on the timing. Here come BBL, and now they're going to win the round.
He's not expecting the walk up.
The walk up here, yeah, vulnerability found. Punished as well. They split the map 2-2. 2 on B side, 2 on A. I like the Roses held this space. They could not fall completely towards A main. But Vitality can dig their heels in. Great shot. But the damage is there for Lover's Rock. And now the flood on the side. Down late on time. Contact, I guess, maybe off of the drop more than anything. Should be heard, and it's going to be a wrap over. Yeah, man!
So you might think, looking at that first round, well, they won, and maybe it was just their pistol round idea. You know, he was meant to recall. It's all fine. And that's what I first thought as well. But then, let's take a look at round number 3 and how that one starts.
2 teams facing on that stat.
It can't be. It can't be. So BBL continuing. It's going to 3-1-1. And they're very committed on these initial approaches. Yampy, oh, he's shoulder check, and he's absolutely been...
So this time, Larocque actually manages to win this fight, right? But if you take a look at the strat, it's basically the exact same, you know? And we're actually, you know, this isn't meant to be an exec. You can tell by the map here. You know, the Omen is across the map. But again, it's this drone, and this time, obviously, they're not on a pistol, so they have more util. So they send in the clone, they send in a TP as well, right? They fake the TP. You know, the drone is coming in. The Yoru clone is there, and Larocque is there on his own. Right, look at the map again. He's taking this fight, and they're happy for him to just take this fight 1v1, and then Dark comes in. But now, take a look at how weird this round gets, because I'm just going to show you the map from this point. So Larocque has taken the site. He's here. Take a look at the map. He's on site. I'm playing this at 2 times speed. He's still on site. He's still on site. Look at where the spike is going like to spawn. He's still here. He's still on B. Guys, he's still on B. We're going over towards A. He's still B. We're putting a smoke on B. He's still B. You know, now Vitality are trying to push mid. He's been there for like a whole minute at this point before they finally realize, oh, maybe we should just go B, I guess. So they wanted to come out towards A. Now you see that, you know, they're starting to come back here towards B. And Larocque has just sat here for a full, like, minute at this point. Just on his own on the B side.
They spotted Chronicle earlier, so they should still... Oh! I was going to say, consider the possibility there's some aggression here, but Chronicle will punish.
So those kills make it back into a 3v3, but this round from Vitality's POV must be quite confusing, right? I guess maybe they thought he must have recalled after getting this kill, and maybe that's part of BBL's plan of just leaving him here, and maybe they don't think that he is there, and they're gonna slowly re-clear into back to him, but they don't, obviously. And now the spike's been dropped in spawn, essentially, and it's just all sorts of weird. And now they finally, well, I mean, we kind of did see them crossing across this way, so they start drifting towards B, but that's when LaRock, finally, the plan comes to fruition, and LaRock now is able to just win the round as they begin looking for him.
He hasn't spotted him. Hasn't spotted him.
Is Durka dead to this again? Man, he's going to be tilted. Oh, LaRock! Anything you can do, I can do better, and he's done it for the site.
So we've seen now an example of when LaRock went onto site alone and died, and now an example of he went onto site and got the kill. But neither of those rounds, I guess, went exactly to plan, because I doubt the plan was you sit there for a minute and hope that no one comes to you whilst we just go off on the rest of the map. But then let's take a look at the next full gun round here, round number 5. Guess what their strat is?
Vitality, a lot of focus shifting towards mid now. Yampy once more to try and catch LaRock. Damage done this time around.
Much better. The support system with Prophet.
So again, I have never seen anything like this, right? Pistol round, bonus round, first gun round. We do this. We do the same strat, and you see that, like, there is no help here. Right, like, he is taking this fight. It's a 1v1. This is a 1v1 fight, and they do the exact same thing that they did before, right? Drone, clone, fake TP, smoke here. You dash in and take this 1v1. It's a bizarre strat. And the thing is, this time the 1v1 kind of lasts long enough to where Prophet is actually able to come across here and actually get the kill from heaven instead, right? So this one, again, plays out in a very kind of weird situation where, again, he ends up dying, and then you see Rose, like, think about, you know, maybe trying to help him, but then he, like, no, you're on your own, buddy. Like, if you do this with the spike, you can't do this. So again, this is just a 4v5, right? It's a bizarre strat. I've never seen anything like it. But here we are again, just in a 4v5 to start the round, and again, they're going to win it. And again, they win this round by kind of confusing Vitality, as Vitality end up kind of looking for answers, and to be honest, not playing that well this round.
They're behind the cage.
Where's that problem solving now? Ooh, bloody hell, you are lucky to be alive, but is Durka going to get caught out?
Over towards mid now, and Chronicle going to try and counteract that. Yampy, though.
So this isn't great by Vitality. Kind of two of their players get killed here in a 5v4 by looking the wrong way. But again, I think the BBL are confusing Vitality here, because are they playing fast or are they playing slow? They're playing both. It's a very odd style, right? You'll see the first kill actually comes here on Durka, right? So he's kind of looking in towards mid just here. And then as soon as, like, he starts to think, oh, maybe they're grouping up towards A, I guess. You know, he turns his back just as Rose is coming out here, and he ends up dying there. Then Yampy decides, and I don't know, this is not very good by Yampy and Profek. Either they both have to come and do this together, or, you know, don't do it. Basically, it's one or the other. Don't one of you go and one of you start rotating. That's not how this works at all. So not very good by Vitality here, and they get punished because, again, I mean, BBL haven't moved, right? Lovers Rock is still just sitting here in window for 50 seconds, and now they're in a 4v3, right? And so now they get options of what they want to do. But again, are they doing something normal? Not really. Lovers Rock, you know, you see instantly starts grouping up here towards B. He's then actually going to pop his Yoru ult here. Where is the spike? I mean, you can't even see it because Abyss is too big. The spike is here. We are Yoru ulting B after getting that kill. Very believable. The spike is going the other way, right? The spike is gone. They're on their way to A instead.
You catch somebody with the smoke going up now, going to make it more difficult.
Yeah, he saw the cross, but it's like, well, what do you do individually here? Just try and maybe stall out with some nice shock darts, which he's doing. But he just gets shot through smoke, so Kron trying to play back through. But you look how far away the support is. Profek's still...
Catch a glimpse here.
Does he expect Rose to be this deep? No, he doesn't. He was drawn in, all eyes turned towards Lloyd.
Okay, now let's skip ahead to the very next round. This is after a Vitality timeout, and so they decided, we're going to do something a little bit different. We know you want to come over here. We're going to put 2 players here instead. Right, so they put 2 players there instead, and so this one does play out a little bit differently, because guess what? BBL decide we're going for the same strat. We're going to send the clone, we're going to send in the Yoru TP, we're going to send in this drone. There you go. Now, because maybe Yampy gets spotted here, that LaRock, he doesn't decide to go for this TP this time, right? So this time he doesn't go for it, but that doesn't stop them basically going for the same play, because you'll see, you know, they give it 10 seconds and then decide, well, let's just do it, but slightly differently, because now they're just going to Omen flash down here and have him dash up anyway. But you'll see again, it's, well, it doesn't go well.
Results up against LaRock. And yeah, there's the difference, right? Insert that player, subvert expectation, and the double down from Profek.
Not a great start. They're now in a 5v3. The thing is, they are going to end up losing this round, BBL, but from this position, they actually end up getting it back into a good spot again. The way that they do that is Kreven here is going to walk up on Durka, and he's going to find this kill, and he's going to Cypher ult them. Right, so and then he takes all of this space, right? So we end up, I mean, Rose then tries to rotate through mid and realizes that's a terrible idea because everyone's already there. And look at where the map is going to end up here. So we got Lover's Rock in mid, we got Rose running towards A, we got Kreven in their spawn, right? They're going to make this round winnable. This is going to just become a straight 3v3 that BBL then could potentially win.
We'll be able to catch Chronicle. Vitality
30 seconds left.
now have to reconsider this rotation.
Spike planted.
Palm will come through and still a question mark time to play with.
No, they absolutely don't. And here we go. Great surprise, though. Unfake does very well. The others now need to speed up a bit. Pressure sight. Split the focus. They do. Profek bulldozering in. And Rose can't just sit back now. Oh, my word.
Okay, so at this point, BBL have basically been doing the same thing. And if we come to the next round as well, I just want to show you that, like, this just keeps happening, right? We're getting to slight variations at this point, but tell me if you've seen this one before, right? And they play out in slightly different ways. So this time they actually do walk up and they manage to get that trade there. He doesn't dash in until they actually get that kill. And now they just end up actually going B this time, planting the spike and ending up in a 4v4. And this one they will actually win. But I just wanted to show you that, like, up to this point, we had 7 rounds. And basically, apart from the second round, which was an eco, basically started almost the exact same every time. And so that meant by the time we got to round number 8, they finally decided, let's do something a bit different, but let's make it look kind of similar, because you'll see we're going to start off in what looks like the same sort of pose. It's a very good read that they expect some kind of aggro potentially to come out here from Vitality towards B. But now you'll see, after that aggro kind of commences, they are now going to decide to send this Yoru clone in here. They're going to send the drone in here. Look familiar? Yes, I think it does, right? But actually not send Larocque in. And take a look at what Vitality do. Right, just take a look at Vitality. Just off that drone and that clone, now you've got 3 players over here. This guy instantly came back, you know, towards mid. And then starts drifting even more towards B. Right, take a look at this. Take a look at the map now. If you were to split this map in half, you got 4 players on one side and 1 on the other. And so now they've used that to just go and do an A exec that goes very well.
Kept in check for the time being.
Seen much of this initial approach towards A either, right? We've mostly seen those dedicated looks towards B, a bit towards middle. Starting to see an early approach to this side of the map, and Chronicle makes a good go of it, but you ain't going to make it work.
So this is insane, right? That plan at the start, you know, as bizarre as it might have been, basically conditioned Vitality so hard that by the time that we got to this point, round number 8, that they just actually walk in through the H point. You know, they just walk in. They're like, look at that. Look how easy that is. Because they know that what they've done has worked. Right? They trust that their plan must have worked. And so it just makes it easy for them. And then this is like the easiest A exec you will ever see. And the map now looks like this. The round is over. And then finally, I'm just going to show you round number 9. Because again, this just shows that, like, the BBL game plan was just working perfectly here. Because this is finally the time that they decide to change it up and put Larocque on A instead. But they basically just do the same thing with him somewhat, but just on A, right? Here's a smoke, here's a dart, go take A main. They actually get this first kill in mid as well. Vitality are so desperate for an answer to B, they decide to go full aggro. They're sick of it. You know, we want an answer here, but they're not going to find a good answer, because now Larocque is over towards A. They flip the map on you. The thing is, and this is true for, like, rounds in the future as well. They do this in some of the other rounds after this one. They just leave Larocque on A and just say, you just go on A and play and do whatever you want. How often, when have you ever seen a Waylay just be left on their own, to their own devices? Just do what you want. We don't care. I mean, this round ends up being a bit funky because of this as well in mid, but look at this. Look at this. And now guess how they win this round. Look at the map. Look at the map. They're actually going B here, but this guy is just on A on his own now. But their plan, as you can see, at this point, is to go B, which would be going into a free site. They've also got this guy in mid that Vitality aren't aware of as well. Look at this map. I mean, Vitality are just, they have no idea what's going on.
There we go, he did. He did.
Yeah.
He turned around, he saw one. And that, I don't know if he caught the spike going down there, but now there's a bit of an issue on the other side of the map. They found space. They can TP away and then get towards the A site.
So this round is just pure madness. I mean, Profek thinks I'm in an amazing position here. He then is going to kill the guy with the spike. The spike carrier gets killed, right? So these guys are thinking, oh, must be an A hit. Spike gets dropped over here. Oh, come back all the way, right? Then this kill happens on A. Then they omen ult A. Again, take a look at when they start planting the spike here. Look at the map. Vitality have everyone on the wrong side of the map again. What is going on? Like, how do you... What? Like, Vitality just... They must have watched this half back and been like, what on earth were we playing against? Because none of this makes any sense. And BBL ended up beating Vitality with this, perhaps the most insane game plan maybe I've ever seen.